Okay, do a couple of audio checks. Let me know how the audio is, folks. I'll let a few more people on it tonight. How are you all doing? We love to hear from you, our loyal community. Right. So welcome. I'm as common as muck. Ah, well, you'll fit in here then. We're all peasants. Oh, I know this crown thing. But some people take it more seriously than others, don't they? It's to try and get people commenting and interacting, isn't it? To try and fight each other. Right. Okay. Get a quick drink. It's hot, isn't it, folks? It's very warm. So this is going to be the part 2. Part 9.1, which is like the part 2 to Are the Mccanns Guilty? So this is going to be more. If you're looking for non-Mccann stuff, the next stream will not be Mccann related. It will probably be a news show. We'll throw in some curious news. We'll throw in some weird stuff, a bit of alien stuff, anything weird and wonderful going on. And then we'll also cover, I want to look into, not too deep because YouTube don't like it, but the latest on the egg stain. We can't really say his name because YouTube don't like it for whatever reason. So we'll be covering that as well. But tonight we're going to be doing the second part to Are the Mccanns Guilty? Now, if you missed the last one, and they are all there, they're all in the playlist if you want to go and watch any of them. Now, the last one, we were looking at how the media was so different before they got sued. Now, having Clarence Mitchell come on within a day says it all for me, right? It really does. And even with him on, the media was still asking the right questions. Now, I've managed to find an old panorama, and it was done at the end of 2007, hosted by Jeremy Vine, of all people. And honest to God, right, I think we'll be okay showing it because it's been uploaded by another channel, not the BBC. I'm pretty sure the BBC will have scrubbed this. I forgot to do an audio check. Let me know, how's the audio, folks? Right, so I'm going to drink. Right, how's the audio? Let me know if it's okay. Brilliant, Elaine. Changed your name. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Nanny. Hi, Lee. Hi, Tony G. Hi, Nanny. Hi, Lee. Hi, Tony G. That rhymed. Elaine, Brum Vixen. Saskia's here. Saskia's poorly in hospital. Nikki's here. Thank you, my darling. Thank you, all of our super sleuths that are here. I think Amethyst is here as well. So thank you to everyone that's watching. If you're a little bit shy, don't be shy. Feel free to come in. I did want to go at 9, by the way, guys. I'm really sorry. I had a lot of stuff to do tonight. We had a bit of an emergency with a bunny as well. Exactly, Tams. I keep going to call you Tamsin. Why do they need PR? And what's natural about parents of the missing child? Exactly. It makes no sense. Hi, Carlos. Hi, DJ Rockford. How you doing? Hi, Candice. Welcome. And thank you to our lovely members as well for joining and being here. Cosmic War Toad, Yvonne is here. So, yes, Saskia's really poorly in hospital, so we can all wish her lots of love. How you doing, Yvonne? Good to see you, my darling. So, okay, now, it doesn't make any sense, does it? It just doesn't make... Hi, Terry Knowles Band again. It doesn't make any sense why you would need that. Now, can you imagine if they didn't have Clarence Mitchell and the government and all these other people, high up people? Hello, Wendy. How you doing, darling? I've just seen you there. How you doing, my love? My eyesight's getting worse as I'm getting older, honestly. I need to make my screen a bit brighter. It's better. So can you imagine though, without all that? Now, I cannot express to you how the media was so different before April 2008, when the Mccanns successfully sued the Daily Express. Well, hi Jenna, darling. It was settled out of court. So, Rose, hello, my lovely. It was settled out of court. They got like over $500,000, the Mccanns did, from the Daily Express and the Express Group. So after that, everyone everywhere has had basically a D notice on questioning this. So what I want to focus on again tonight is that period of time between the when she went missing, when little Madeleine allegedly went missing, I believe was killed, in my opinion, the day before. I believe she was killed on the 2nd of May, and that's my opinion, and I've formed that from all the things I've seen and heard over the last 18 years. And the beginning of April in 2008. So this panorama, what we're about to watch now, it's Saskia's birthday on Saturday, isn't it? Yeah. Happy birthday for Saturday, darling. I'll probably do a Saturday stream, actually. I'll see. Be Friday or Saturday. Right, let me just get into this now and I'll show you what I mean. This panorama. So now somebody has uploaded it who is not the BBC. So I'm hoping we'll get away with it and we'll be able to watch it, because you all know what they are like. The BBC do not like anybody watching anything, but this channel has uploaded it and there's no problems with it. Probably not going to get monetized, which I don't care about. The main thing is can we watch it? So let me just find the panorama. I'll try and find it now. Right, just bear with me a sec. And it's so balanced. This is what it used to be like. The BBC and all journalism. It's so honest to God, it is so bizarre watching. It's just so bizarre watching the BBC do actual journalism. They look at every single angle. They don't just look at like the abduction theory. I'm just going to get it. Okay, it's ready. Hold on. So this was from the 19th of November 2007. Now, it is quite a long one, so I am going to be pausing it in between. Obviously, I've got to, because of, we don't want the BBC suing us. So, guys, if you're okay with this, now I want to watch this with you, because it is really, really interesting. It isn't, hello, little Miss Sunshine, how you doing, darling? It isn't anything like what you would imagine the BBC to be like, and they've scrubbed this. This has been scrubbed, okay? So they're going to struggle doing a copyright if it's not on their website anymore. Thank God for this channel that uploaded it all many, many years ago. But obviously it's his content now, so we've got to pause it. So are you guys okay at hospital today? I'm home now. Oh, that's brilliant, darling. I've got more scans as well, so I feel you. Doesn't he look young here? He really does. So I just want to check with all of you guys in the live chat right now. I can't really do anything about the people watching on the replay. We've got the replay crew, because they'll already been, it has already happened. You're watching in the future and we are in the past. How mad's that? So are you guys okay? I watched this the other day and it was so good, and I really wanted to watch it with you. So no, we don't. Terry Knowles band again. So are you guys okay? Because this is a really good piece of journalism. And remember, in November 2007, right, just bear this in mind, the Mccanns are official Aguados at this time. The blood has already been found in the car and in the apartment, 5A. It is still at the laboratory. Okay. Hi, lovely jubbly. Hi, Cosmic Wartoad. They're still Aguados. Robert Murat, who I believe may have been involved, but because apparently he knew them. I don't know. He got cleared, but I don't know. He just seemed a bit of a scapegoat to me. I don't know. So what the Panorama do here is what the Panorama used to do many years ago. And they would look at things balanced. And this is the best piece of mainstream media I've seen, of journalism I've seen. So they look at, were the Mccanns guilty? And they look at, was there an abduction? So I'm going to put this on. I'm hoping you guys, hi Ellie. Oh, that's fab. Right. Hopefully you guys want to watch it with me. If you get bored, I'll turn it off. Okay.
This is Panorama. Madeleine Mccann. The unseen footage of her parents as the tide of public opinion was about to turn.
No.
I didn't realise you were there.
Not there's a textbook about it, is there? Like what to do?
Do you know what's really good at this as well? I just wanted to interrupt a moment just to say what I like about this piece of journalism here, this Panorama, is there's unseen footage that wasn't released. And do you know what as well? Well, I was watching this the other day and I was gobsmacked with what I seen. Do you know that the Mccanns got this guy, right? We're going to watch this, but this guy who was apparently Kate's best friend at school's husband now, to follow them around. This was in the August. So this program was released in the November, but parts of this was filmed in the August 2007. They got him to follow Jerry around, right, with the kids and vlog him on his day-to-day life after Maddie. You could not make this shit up. When I was watching this, I was flabbergasted with some of the stuff that I've seen. And you'll see it, the police even come and kick them out. Honestly, when you're watching this, it seems unlike, you couldn't imagine the BBC doing journalism. But anyway, so we're going to get to see behind the scenes a little bit as well. Honestly, guys, this is a really, really, really good documentary.
Do when your daughter gets abducted?
Still hard to think.
Sorry about the quality, it's naff.
It's us. It's actually happened to us.
And the friend who tried to warn them.
I said to them that I think there's a possibility that Madeleine may not be the story eventually, that you may be the story.
But where will that story end? The police now say they don't expect the long-awaited DNA results to be decisive. But they're not ready to clear the Mccanns and want to speak to witnesses again. Tonight, one of them describes to us the moment she believes Madeleine was taken.
I just saw somebody walking across the top of the road, so I was a reasonable distance away from them. And that person was carrying a child.
Now, that's Jane Tanner. Now, that was debunked, as we know. That sighting was... Hang on, George. George is barking outside. What's George barking at?
Probably a cat.
Well, can you go and check, please?
There's nothing there. Cat.
I've asked Al to take him outside, but he's barking out there. Right, we'll bring him in now. Bring him in, because the hamsters are due. At the end, remind me to give you an update on the hamsters. Spiky hamsters, aka hedgehogs. Right, where was we? Okay, so Jane Tanner is one of the Tapas 7 who says that she's seen a mystery man, carrying a child on the way back. Now, the most bizarre thing about this as well is that she says that this man who's carrying this child, is a bad parent for not having any clothes on the child apart from some pajamas. But she's not a bad parent for leaving her kids so she can go off getting pissed. And 14 bottles of wine they had on that table between 9 people that night. 14 bottles of wine. It's in the PJ files. It's there. We haven't hardly touched the surface of them, and we haven't listened to the podcast either. There's so much to go through. But like I say, I'm going to do 2 of these a week, and then we'll do something different on another day for those people that don't want to know about this anymore. But that was Jane Tanner, and they all get interviewed in this. It's really interesting. One person that doesn't get interviewed is David Payne. He went off the radar I believe he is involved. I'm sorry, but that's what I think. And you know what can I say? I do believe he's involved. Why was he bathing the children? And there's so much evidence in there. So anyway, let's continue. But that was Jane Tanner. They might do the music actually. Is Panorama still going?
It's a story that's transfixed most of us, but which has largely been told through leaks, spin and innuendo, partly because of the Portuguese justice system. But tonight, Panorama talks to people with first-hand accounts of what happened that night, including a first interview with a woman who says she saw Madeleine being abducted. It comes at a key moment in the investigation, with the police now under pressure to justify the cloud of suspicion over the Mccanns. Richard Bilton reports.
From anguish.
Please continue to pray for Madeleine.
Oh my God. Does anyone think that's terrible acting? Well, if it does, it does. What will happen is if we get a copyright, the stream will go down. Al's just said I'm going to get a copyright. The thing is, I'm not watching this directly from the BBC. I'm watching it from another person, and he has got it on. The thing is, this parent panorama was scrubbed from the BBC archives. They don't want you to see it. They don't want you to see any journalism. So we'll see. If the stream goes off, I'll just delete this and start again, and we'll watch another clip. Okay, because I'll stress him. Yeah, the acting as well. It's just the whole thing, from the evidence to everything. It's so bizarre. But that was really bad, wasn't it? Oh, please remember Madeleine.
To a form of celebrity.
This poster was the one that we did in conjunction with J.K. Rowling for the distribution.
Then doubts. And finally, suspects.
They have both been today declared acquitted.
Their story has been the same from day one. Their daughter was abducted, but they were forced to leave Portugal without her and had to protest their innocence.
Despite there being so much, we wish to say...
Did you hear that? The wording, their story. Can you see the difference already in the way that this has been reported? Now, it's just a fact that she was taken. There's no question. There's no their story. This is so different. And I forgot just how much the media were questioning them back then. So at this point, remember, they are official Aguados, officially. And they literally, watching this is like watching an old episode of the Kardashians. It's like Celebrity Life of Kate and Jerry McCann. It really is. We'll see. Anyway, we'll keep watching. Oh, AI's been a member for 27 months. I've just caught the chat. Hi, Joe. Hi, Dave. Hi, Timmy's Pipcoat. Welcome in, everybody. Hi, Jane. Welcome, welcome.
We are unable to do so, except to say this. We have played no part in the disappearance of our lovely daughter, Madeleine.
It's funny, we were having such a good time, just like with our friends and their kids.
Sorry, what time are you coming back, Wendy? Well, they do, Bev. How you doing, darling? I'll be here. So I don't know how long you're going to be, but it will be left up definitely, unless obviously if the BBC decide to take it down, then they take it down. I know, Rose. And let's not forget, this was broadcast in the November, but this was filmed in the August, September time, after Madeleine had gone missing. But no, just listen to her. Oh, I was having a lovely holiday. You know, let's not forget, if their daughter has been abducted, I cannot stress this enough. She's supposed to be out there somewhere. Now, it's okay for them to repeat the line, Madeleine's out there, Madeleine's out there, but there's no feeling in there. Well, if Madeleine's out there, you would be so distressed that anything could be happening to your little girl. Do you remember that girl? Was it in Belgium? That was like, was she kept as like a sex slave for like 20 years or something, and had the kids off the person who took her? Can you just imagine the things that would be going through your head about this little girl? If that was real, you would not be acting anything like this. We do need to revisit little Ben Needham and what the difference in that family, how they reacted when their little boy disappeared. I think it was in the 90s. We need to revisit that. And he just vanished on holiday. I think it was in Costa del Sol, but I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. The difference in them. Yeah, the internet wasn't big then, if it was even there then. But still, they're so humble. They're not like these entitled pair. I'm actually reading more and more that they wasn't really doctors. That was another thing that was pushed. She was admin and he was an orderly. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I've read. And do you remember, not the last episode, the episode before, we read that he was on the list, on the pedo list, and they had his name scrubbed, but they had his number. Do you remember that? I think that's true. I really do. There's something about him. I think that there was definitely something about him and that Dr. Payne. The twins, they may or may not remember anything. We don't even know what they've been through. Hang on. Can you bring George in now, please? Thank you. Can you hear George barking? If he sees a cat, he barks like crazy at the cat. Doesn't like cats. He doesn't like any other dogs that come near me either.
And I think because there's a group of us, you're into each other. Do you know what I mean? You kind of
look
your
at
interactions with each other. Whereas maybe if it had just been me and Jerry and the kids, you probably spend a bit more time looking around.
Reminiscing on a nice holiday.
This is the Mccanns at home being
August,
filmed by a friend in August. So
May,
far, this
June,
footage
July,
has
3
remained
months.
private. This is the first time it's been seen.
I mean, we're all
could not make this shit up, man.
It's horrible for anyone to have to go through, and we're just doing what we think's best, and we don't know if what we're doing is right.
During the making of this film, somebody said to me that the Mccanns are either monsters or martyrs. As it stands, I can't tell you what happened to Madeleine McCann.
Can you see? Can you hear the reporting? To some, they're monsters. To some, they're martyrs. They are so non-biased in this. It doesn't seem like I'm watching the BBC. It's mad. He's literally not pushing either way. It's really refreshing. Why can't we get our main national broadcaster back like this, doing proper journalism? It probably won't be today, but I will show you some of the things that Jerry did and got involved in. The same year when Madeleine went, allegedly missing, but I believe was killed, sadly killed, how much work he did and how much he wanted to get the media changed forever. And it worked. It really did.
And on that night, no one seems to be able to do that. But what I can do with new information, new interviews, with new pictures that have never been seen before and were filmed by the McCann's friends, is to give you the fullest and clearest account yet of the mystery of Madeleine McCann and why her parents seem unable to shake off the suspicion that they were somehow involved.
We have uncooperative witnesses who don't collaborate. The McCanns and the friends, the people who are there, who clearly aren't collaborating with the investigation.
April of this year, the Mccanns, along with a group of friends who all have preschool children, decide to go for an early break in the sun. They come here to the Ocean Club in Praia da Luz, Portuguese Algarve. Kate Mccann calls home. The holiday's going well.
It was good. She said it was cold. She said the weather was cold and they were quite surprised because they hadn't taken a lot of warm clothing. And so she was surprised about that. But I think the day I was speaking to her, it had improved a bit. And I think she said that they were going down to the beach.
The week-long holiday is coming to a close. Day 6 is Thursday, May the 3rd. We've produced this model of the Ocean Club to clearly show the key areas and where people were. The tennis courts and pool area, the tapas bar, and here, apartment 5A, where by 5:30 in the evening, the Mccanns say the children have been picked up from their kids' clubs and they're all back.
You listen to the play on words here, the Mccanns say. The difference in for now, it's this is what happened. This is it. This is fact. There's no proof, but this is fact. The Mccanns say. This is real journalism. If I was going to do a documentary, which I am, everything what I say will be, they say this, they say that. This is alleged. Not if you go onto any website now and you just put in, I actually said, were Madeleine McCann's parents guilty? I asked Google AI. No, Madeleine was abducted. There wasn't an allegedly abducted. It was just Madeleine's abducted. That is it. There's no question. So this is really, really good, the way it's been done. It's fab. Yeah, Joe, I used to watch Sonia Polton years ago. I've resubbed to her. She's done some good work on this. Richard D. Hall is the best. I do want to do it. The next one I'll do on this next week will be listening to the FBI profilers in America, like hearing their refreshing, non-biased, not non-British biased take on this, because that is very, very refreshing.
Back together. At 6, Jerry Mccann has his third tennis lesson of the day, so he leaves the flat. He says as a family they talked about bringing the children back out to play in the area by the courts. At 6:30, Jerry Mccann asks a friend, David Payne, to pop in on Kate to see if the children are coming down. He goes to the flat. He says all is well, but the children are too tired and are already in their pyjamas. At 7, lesson over, Jerry Mccann goes back to the apartment. He says he reads the children a story, and all 3 are asleep by 7:30.
Yes, Nikki. I want to watch her.
The couple say they have a glass of wine before, at 8:30, they leave for the tapas restaurant. It's on the complex, about 70 metres.
They say they have a glass of wine. Look, we've seen how far away this thing is. See? They're showing you. They are literally showing you how far away they were. And they were far. Nikki just said it. They were really far. I went to highlight your comment, Nikki, but it went off the screen too fast.
Away. They'd eaten here every night of their holiday with their friends. They can't see the front or the side of the apartment, but they can see part of the back, though even that view is partially obscured by bushes.
We ate in the open air bit of the tapas, and when we went in, there was, I think, 1 or 2 other couples.
And then it was just us, and it wasn't late, it's 8:30 when we met.
They're chatting like it's been 10, 20 years on. It's been 3 months where they're talking here. Let's just bear that in mind. We're 18 years on now. This was August they were talking. August, 3 months on. And they're like, oh, well, we were in the outside bit. They're not bothered. Your daughter could be being tortured somewhere. You'd be hysterical. You wouldn't be doing the documentaries on the TV. They wouldn't go back for the Portuguese police request, though. They asked them to come back and do a documentary. No, only wanted to be on the BBC and on Sky News and on all the mainstream media in the UK. Their little celebrity, little world tours, off to see the Pope. It's shocking. It really is. It's almost unbelievable, but it's real. But just look at how she's speaking. She's just not I have not seen one tear from that woman once. Not once.
One couple we played tennis with, and we chatted to them, and then some of our friends started arriving, and they left shortly after that. And I think at that point we might have been the only table.
Now, what follows is a crucial part of this story. The police have told Panorama that the timeline, the chronology of the events of the night of May the 3rd are still at the heart of this investigation.
Mm-hmm.
They say that there are many inconsistencies in what the group who were having dinner with the Mccanns, the so-called Tapas 9, have said in their witness statements. This is what the Mccanns say happened that night.
There's a party of 9. It's coming towards the end of their holiday and most people are drinking. All the couples have children in the apartments. They say they took turns to check up on them.
We all knew what we had to do, what we were doing, and you know, it worked. It was a system we had going, and it just seemed totally right. You know.
Jerry Mccann says he went at just after 9 to check on his children.
Come on, baby.
He says that their bedroom door was more open than usual, so he goes in. Jerry Mccann has told Panorama he remembers looking down at Madeleine. He spent a moment thinking how beautiful she looked and how lucky he was.
Right, how as if you would do that. But you know, in the witness statement from the 4th of May, it's different. Which is why I want to revisit the PJ files. I want to read their witness statements because they are different. He says he didn't see her. He says it was only open ajar and he couldn't see much. That's what he said. And then now he changed it to, the baddie must have been in there already. Yeah, it's all different. But now it's, I thought how beautiful she looked. That's just bollocks. And it's also, it's too... It is too detailed as well. Now, when someone's lying, they go into the remote little detail because they're trying to convince themselves. You wouldn't even go there. You'd just go, oh, yeah, I've seen her. You wouldn't, and he's changed it. It's like he's trying to convince everybody that he's this loving father. But you don't think that about your 3-year-old daughter if you're a man. How beautiful she looked. Like, what the hell? That is not normal. And I heard that he was a heart surgeon. I'm hearing different things. But would you really want him as your consultant? I wouldn't.
He says this was the last time he saw his daughter. He closes the bedroom door and leaves through these unlocked patio doors. A stair gate, since removed, is shut. This gate is on the latch, not locked. Returning to the tapas bar, he meets Jeremy Wilkins, who he'd played tennis with that afternoon. He crosses the road to talk to him.
He just happened to be a BBC producer, by the way.
To one guy I played tennis with in the street when I'd gone in to check, and that was the first time, I think, of any of the nights that I'd been going up and down that I saw anyway.
Right, Jeremy Wilkinson or Wilkins, he wasn't part of the Tapas 7, just want to say, or Tapas 9, which they were known as, because Tapas 9 included these pair of psychopaths, yeah? So he wasn't part of that group, and they met on holiday. They didn't go with them. They didn't know them before, and apparently they've not seen them since. I don't know how true that is, but I do know that he was like a producer at the BBC. Is that a coincidence that he was there, and that did he really know him first? I find it a little bit bizarre that you're on holiday with all these people and you just so happened to meet a BBC producer and play tennis with him every day and not play tennis with any of the other men or women that you're on holiday with. I find that a little bit bizarre. It feels like he's more of an alibi for where Jerry was that day, because I think that day a lot went on that day that they don't want us to talk about. Now, there's a chance here that I'm going to have to cut this short because I haven't walked George yet. I haven't had time, and he's tapping on the door. So if he does want to go, I'll come back when I get back. But we'll see. He's just started tapping on the door. We'll see how it goes. But if I do have to go, I'll come back after.
Anyone else, really?
It's only like 10, 15 minutes.
5-6 nights, and it was incredibly quiet.
They spoke for a few minutes. At this time, around 9:15, Jane Tanner thinks about checking on her children.
I think the starters were about to arrive, so I thought I'll go and do a check-in.
Is it me, or does she look like she's dying to laugh? Again, 3 months. She's literally like she's trying not. You couldn't make this up. Like, I can't even look at her. She's probably the worst out of all of them.
It'd been sort of 20 minutes or so before we'd last checked. So
She's actually
I'll go and do a
smirking.
check before the food arrived. So I just walked out of the restaurant up the hill. I passed Jerry. He was talking to one of his tennis friends at the time. And then after I'd passed Jerry, at the top of the road, I just saw somebody walking across the top of the road. So I was a reasonable distance away from them. And that person was carrying a child.
And you say a person, male or female?
A male.
And just describe that individual to us.
It's about probably 5'8" tall. He was taller than me, but not 6 foot. And so between those two.
Particular.
He was wearing quite a lot of clothes, and that's one thing in hindsight, again, I think was quite odd, because tourists, when they're abroad, Brits abroad would always have crop trousers or shorts or something, and he had sort of a big heavy jacket and trousers on. And the hair, the one thing that I remember a lot is the hair. It did seem to have quite a lot of dark, reasonably long to the neck hair.
Describe exactly what
No, Jeremy Wilkinson's come out and said that she could not have seen that because it was very dark and very isolated there. Secondly, her story has been debunked now anyway. We know who it was. But yeah, she's basically, they wanted to frame Robert Murat, whether he was involved or not. He might have been helping them try to, I don't know. But they were trying to frame him. Sometimes I think to myself, did they hire him to dispose and then try and set him up as the killer? Because you hear about that, don't you? But they were all. Can you see that she's now remembered that he had lots of hair? It's so fake. It's unreal. But revisiting those very early witness statements are very important in this. This case could be solved easily. It could be solved if they took up that American guy's offer. It could be solved if we had a fresh detectives come in and just look at the case. It's easy. It's all there. But no, they keep pushing this ridiculous narrative, hoping that we'll all forget about this. Well, no, not everybody will forget about it.
he's carrying, what you can see?
Well, I could tell it was a child, and I could see the feet and
she's smiling
in the bottom of the pajamas. But I just thought that child's not got any shoes on. You could see the feet, and it was quite a cold night in Portugal in May. It's not actually that warm. I know I'd got a big jumper on, and I can remember thinking, oh, that parent's not a particularly good parent. They've not wrapped them up.
And could you tell?
Not a good parent, but she's an excellent parent. She leaves her kids home alone on holiday in a different country. Can you believe the arrogance of these people? And she's laughing. She is laughing and smirking throughout. You couldn't make this up. She was wrapped in a blanket, actually, because this has all been debunked.
Where we're going?
Only because the pajamas had a pinky aspect to them, so you'd presume a girl. It was actually quite cold.
From your sketch, he appears to be carrying the child in a sort of unusual way.
Yeah, I was carrying sort of across the body like that. I suppose in hindsight, you probably think somebody would carry them more against the shoulder.
And I have to ask you this, are you absolutely sure of what you saw? Because it was a long time ago, and it was only for a brief period.
Brief period, but at the time, I knew what I'd seen. I'd gave that information to the police, and because of the pajamas, I'm absolutely convinced that is what I saw.
According to the McCann timeline, at about...
I'm convinced that's what I saw. Does this sound like someone who's telling the truth or someone that's trying to convince themselves that they are telling the truth? Anyway, I'm not really seeing the chat, so I just want to say thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you all, our super sleuths. And yeah, let's keep going.
9:30, Matt Oldfield is the next to check on the children.
He's apparently
Remember, Jerry McCann says he had closed the bedroom door, but Matt Oldfield says he finds it open. He doesn't go in the room. He sees the twins but can't see Madeleine's bed. Because there's no noise, he assumes everything's okay. At about 10, it's Kate McCann's...
Don't you think it's good how they're doing this, though? They've all got their own different colours, and they're giving us really, like, detailed... I like this. This is good. Did you hear that, Matthew Oldfield? Now, hang on a minute. Why is it that they've got other people checking on the McCanns kids, but the McCanns aren't checking on the other people's kids? What are the chances of that? Many, many witness statements from the bar have said that these people didn't get up every half an hour and go and check on the kids. And they swear blind that there was always a parent missing every night. So there was no left kids and checking. It's all lies. Can you imagine, though, that whatever they've done is that bad that it's the better option to admit neglect than to admit what you've done? Because that's what they're doing here. They're admitting that they left their kids. I don't believe for 1 second that they did. Maybe for one night, and Madeleine was screaming that night. Anyway, so this is Kate now on her way.
It's turn to check on the children.
But yeah, Jane Tanner checked on. Was it her kids? Matthew Oldfield checked on their kids. Why aren't the McCanns checking on all the other people's kids? It doesn't make any sense, does it?
The bedroom door is still open. As she closes it, she feels a draft and knows something is wrong. A shutter on the side of the apartment they couldn't see from the tapas bar is open. Madeleine is missing.
Lies.
Kate McCann says she searches the...
Witness statement from the PJ files, right? These shutters, they're not like, like a little roller blind. They're on the outside. They are metal. So when you get like a roller shutter in a shop, you ever walk past a shop in the morning really early and you hear the shutters open and you hear it going up? I used to open a shop every morning and I used to pull the shutter up, and they are bloody loud. You can hear them, metal clanging. And that's in a shop on a high street. Can you imagine? These shutters don't really go up. They don't really go down much at all. They just go down for when, I'm guessing, when they're at the apartments are like out of use for whatever, out of season or whatever, I don't know. But the locals have all said that when that shutter goes, hang on a minute. When the shutter goes up, you can hear them. You can really hear these shutters going up. So the shutter was allegedly down, and it was going up. So I'm presuming that the ground floor bedrooms, they're always down. That one's down, that one's down, that one's down. So we're trying to work out. So it was supposed to be down and it went up. But these neighbours have all said that they would have heard that shutter going up. They would have heard it. It's not something... And the thing is, they've left the door open ajar, according to the McCanns. So why would you break into a shutter? And let's not forget, there was no breaking marks. There was no marks on the shutter that said it had been broken into. And on the initial witness statement, nobody mentioned the shutter. This is a new thing that they came out with a few weeks later. But this shutter, you would have heard it going up. 1,000,000% you would have heard it.
The flat 3 times before raising the alarm. Jane Tanner says that by this time, she's already back in her apartment.
I went out to the front door of our apartment and I saw Rachel came and said,
She's still
Madeleine's gone. And so that was the first that I heard about it. And then I saw Kate and Fiona running around shouting Madeleine, and Kate said to me, Jane, Madeleine's gone, Madeleine's gone. And that was the first that I heard.
What time was that about?
I'm not sure. It'd be 10ish, around 10ish.
And now all of a sudden what you've seen.
Yeah, it was as soon as Rachel said to me, Madeleine's gone, this person sort of came into my head. I hadn't given it a second thought up to that point, but then this person sort of, I suddenly thought, oh, well, that person was a bit odd. Suddenly Madeleine's not there, and I've seen somebody that then you think, oh, that maybe was a bit odd. It just seems too much of a coincidence.
The Mccanns say they ask Matt Oldfield to call the police at 10:15 from the Ocean Club front desk. When the police don't appear, they say someone from the group goes back to the front desk to see what's happening.
That's not true at all. They said that the holiday club people, the workers, rang the local like Guardian, which are like a reserve police, not the main police. Because remember, it's quite out the way where they are, and they come round and have a look. But they're saying here that this Matthew Oldfield said ring the police. It was down to the staff, because these poor staff, they feel responsible. You know, there's a child missing on their complex, because it's all one complex where the food is and everything else. So they're running around like headless chickens trying to, you know, find this child. Why wouldn't Kate and Jerry ring the police themselves? Why have they relied on this Matthew Oldfield? And it's ever so strange, ever so bizarre. It's too bizarre to even be real.
The police say the first call they received was about 10:40.
Did you hear that? So they're saying that Matthew Oldfield told a member of staff to ring the police at 10:15. The police say the first call they got was at 10:40. So someone's lying. They're trying to blame it onto the staff for not ringing the police. It's disgusting. What's the matter, Georgie? What's wrong? George?
In the chaos, it's clear there is some confusion about the exact times. Remember, Portugal and Britain are on the same time. I have spoken to someone who was staying very close to flat 5A on the night of May the 3rd. She says the first that she was aware of a missing child was 10:30, and she's sure of that because she says the BBC 10 o'clock news had just finished. She says that she heard Kate McCann sobbing, repeating over and over again, "We've let her down." She also says that she heard the first Portuguese policeman arrive, and he said she must have walked out because there's no sign of a break-in.
There you go. The BBC wouldn't say that now. So we've let her down, sobbing. What was that, 9:15? And they said there was no sign of a break-in. What does that tell you? So how have they got the shutter up then? How have they got the shutter up? There'd be a sign of break-in. Why would you go in the shutter? You just walk in the door because apparently the door's open and there's nobody there. You're on the ground floor and you leave the door unlocked. Not just unlocked, open while your kids... Come on. The kid could have just wandered off. That is what you think as well. You wouldn't think she's been taken. Your initial thought would be, she's wandered off. She could have gone into the pool or be drowning or anything. Immediately, it's they've took her. At the end of this, you'll hear a they. Who's they?
Initially, the flat isn't treated as a crime scene, and police would later be criticised for not sealing it off.
There had been quite a few people in the apartment, but not into the bedroom. That was limited to myself, Kate, I think two of our friends, the two GNR officers.
Because you can clean it, that's why.
The translator. I was certainly saying to people to stay out of the room. There was no sealing off of the room, and the twins were still sleeping in their cots. So we tried to leave it as undisturbed as possible. And they slept very soundly until we moved them out of the cots into the other apartment.
As if you would stay in that room. What? They slept very soundly. Your child's apparently been taken. You would not be staying there, would you? It's madness. Absolute madness. The arrogance of these pair.
Which does make me wonder about whether there was any substances used to keep them asleep.
The police didn't follow this up with tests.
What did he just say? Did I just hear him say something about if there was any substances used to keep them asleep? Is that what he's just said? I'm going to rewind that. What the? They would have tested them, surely. So he's now trying to say that this baddie, this alleged baddie, not only ignored an open door, broke in and forced the shutter open without leaving a single mark, and had time to go and drug the twins. Let's listen to this bit again.
So
I don't remember this bit.
Trying to leave it as undisturbed as possible. And they slept very soundly until we moved them out of the cots into the other apartment.
Hi, Anne, City Farm.
Wonder about whether there was any substances used to keep them asleep.
Substance use.
The police didn't follow this up with tests. Meanwhile, late on May the 3rd, the McCanns begin calling home.
I think it would be about 11:30, and I'm guessing.
Many people have said that the McCanns rang the media before the police. Some people have said the McCanns rang the media at 8:30 before she'd even gone, allegedly gone. That's how fake this entire thing is. This is her mother, by the way. They've placed that, strategically placed that in the background to make her look like, you know, this loving grandmother that has the kids round.
Guessing now, I might be wrong. There was a phone call, and it was Jerry on the phone, and he said, "It's a disaster. It's a disaster," and he was quite hysterical.
He's absolutely uncontrollable. He's howling and screaming down the phone. They've taken her. She's
Who's
gone.
they?
Walking the streets.
Who's they? They've taken her. She's gone. Who's they? She got in trouble because she kept on blabbing and shouting and overacting, and she got in trouble because she was being too much. She is so, her acting's even worse than the others. But who is they? There's no they. It makes no sense. It would be literally, if I came in and this something was missing, you'd be like, shit, they've wandered off. They wouldn't be, they've got out. It wouldn't be that someone's been in and took them. First thing you'd do is check. She didn't even check the wardrobes. Then you'd be checking outside in the ground. You'd definitely be checking the pool, because that's a big danger to children. But if you've left your door open and your child's not in bed, your first thought isn't that they, whoever they are, have taken them. It's she's wandered off. She's gone. They just keep on telling on themselves all the time.
Prior to Lush at 3:30.
He looks like one
most
as well.
of the search party
That's his brother.
Disbanded by then, and he was still crying his eyes out.
What was Kate like? What sort of state was she in?
Hi, Gina. Hi, Michael.
She was distressed, obviously. She just asked me if I had the telephone number of Father Paul Seddon. Paul Seddon is a friend of theirs who's a Catholic priest who actually married Jerry and Kate and baptised Madeleine. And for some reason,
you ring your mother. My daughter's been taken by them. Can I have the priest's phone number, please? What?
Reason at that stage, Kate needed to make contact with Paul. She needed I suppose, the strength that comes from having
She
faith.
confessed to him.
Texted a couple of times.
He looks
just
a rungun.
You know, pray for us. Pray for Madeleine.
By dawn, a major search of the whole resort is underway.
The police did a really good job. Look at them. They covered the whole area.
These officers are from the GNR, the Uniformed Portuguese Police. But it's the investigation branch, the Polícia Judiciária, or PJs, who are now in charge of the hunt for Madeleine McCann.
We would again like to appeal for any information, however small, that may lead to the safe return of Madeleine.
First appeals are made, but what we didn't know at the time was that some Portuguese detectives are already telling Portuguese journalists that they don't believe the McCann story.
Information started circulating from sources connected to the Portuguese police that the story was full of holes from the side of the McCanns and their friends.
Indeed, within 2 days of Madeleine disappearing, this crime correspondent was filing this piece in the Portuguese daily Diário de Notícias, headlined, "A Badly Told Story."
We started to receive information according to which the police suspected the theory. They had apprehensions, didn't believe the theory that she had been kidnapped. To conclude, the police started to suspect the parents from the word go.
What did I say at the beginning of all of this? The police were feeding the Portuguese media drips and drabs of what was going on. Totally different to here. And then our media, we're getting it from the Portuguese media. So everything that our media are reporting was coming direct from the Portuguese police. Because that's what they do over there. They give information out. Over here, it's a huge psychological operation on every single piece of media.
But that breakdown in trust worked both ways. The McCanns quickly grew impatient at the police response.
Exactly, Bev.
It seemed bloody slow at the time, you know.
Well, the Freemasons of the twins have been given this amazing life now. One of them's about to be in the Olympics. They always get this massive push when they get older. So they're probably brainwashed completely and, you know, doing what they're told. You wouldn't ask for a priest unless you'd found out she was murdered and there was a body. That's when you'd want a priest. And apparently there wasn't even practicing Catholics until it started to look good when they asked for the priest.
And I don't know. I mean, again, you've got to put it into perspective. You know, it's a quiet, sleepy place, certainly that time of year. There's no local police. You know, so they have to come from the nearest town.
Perfect then, isn't
Local
it, for
police
you?
come out. You've got to remember we had the language barrier as well.
Against the police advice, the wider McCann family turned to the media. But within days, Kate and Jerry Mccann found themselves being judged by the media.
Madeleine is a beautiful, bright.
Why go
funny,
to them then? Did you hear that? The police said, stay away from the media. And then they moan they're being judged by the media. Well, if you're going to make these stupid appearances on TV and look guilty as sin, then what do you expect?
Girl. She is so special. Please, please do not hurt her. Please don't scare her. Please tell us where to find her.
Please don't scare her.
It was reported that
Hang on. Please don't hurt her. Please don't scare her. Why would you say don't hurt her first and then don't scare her? Because by hurting her, it's going to scare her. So why would you say don't hurt her, don't scare her? And of course she's scared because she's allegedly been taken by a baddie. So to say don't scare her, that ship's already sailed. She's already scared. You know, this is just terrible, terrible scripted bad acting. My 10-year-old could do a way better job of acting than these pair.
Police suspicions were fueled by the couple's behaviour.
Yeah, dry eyes, perfect
but in
mascara.
these early appearances, Kate Mccann seemed too cold, too controlled.
We need our Madeleine. Sean and Emily need
Her nose
Madeleine.
looks fake.
Madeleine needs us.
They are criticised for having displayed a cold and calculating attitude throughout this process. You can see already after the kidnapping, Kate Mccann appeared on a veranda in front of the journalists, crying purposefully.
Oh, God.
And we
Look at
interpreted this as a performance for the media.
Wow.
And this made us feel something.
I don't remember this being mentioned, do you? Yeah, I watched this the other night. Well, it was quite early in the morning. I was up with George and I was watching this, but I missed that bit. So she went onto the veranda for the media and put on a display of tears. Honestly, you could not make this up. And they even said fake immediately. Fake. Guys, if you're watching, please hit the like if you're enjoying the content. It really does help out the algorithms. How long have we been going now? An hour and something, not sure what. Right, we'll go for another 20 minutes. We'll watch the rest tomorrow, and then we've got more. Well, no, because we're going to watch it next week, aren't we? We'll try and finish this one today, this episode.
Some sort of discomfort.
Please give our little girl back. Por favor, devolva a nossa menina.
They were getting advice.
Sorry, what?
If you're too tearful, you're going to have the emotional impact, but you're not going to get the message over. And
What
yes,
was
what
that?
comes
Was
out
she
of
just
their
supposed to
mouths,
be speaking in Portuguese?
And we interpreted this
But just
as a
look at
performance
this,
for the media.
folks. Let's revisit.
Madeleine is a beautiful, bright, funny and caring little girl. She is so special. Please, please do not hurt her. Please don't scare her. Please tell us where to find her.
It was reported that police suspicions were fueled by the couple's behaviour. But in these early appearances, Kate McCann seemed too cold, too controlled.
We need our Madeleine. Sean and Emily need Madeleine, and Madeleine needs us.
They are criticised for having displayed a cold and calculating attitude throughout this process. You can see already after the kidnapping, Kate McCann appeared on a veranda in front of the journalists, crying purposefully. And we interpreted this as a performance for the media. And this made us feel some sort of discomfort.
Please give our little girl back. Por favor, devolva a nossa menina.
they were getting advice. If you're too tearful, you're going to have the emotional impact, but you're not going to get the message over. And yes, what comes out of their mouths sounds measured, controlled, and a nice tempo.
Why is his brother talking like this? He's smiling or smirking. It's 3 months and your niece is apparently missing. Could be anywhere with anyone. Could be trafficked or anything. And you're sat there analysing how they spoke in the interviews and how it was done in the right tempo. Not, oh my God, my niece is missing. If my niece went missing, oh my God. She's 30 now, right? She's still like a daughter to me. She's my goddaughter. She's everything to me. And when she was a baby, like now, something happened to her, I'd be hysterical. If she was little, I just don't know what I'd do. I wouldn't be sat there after 3 months and just discussing how my sister or my brother acted on the interview on TV. Well, they had the right tempo because they can't be too upset, but then they can't be not upset enough. And he's got a smirk on his face. This is not normal behaviour. The whole family are in on it, I think. I'm sorry. This is just weird. He screams at me, get your hard drive checked. Just something in my head says that.
They don't speak like that normally. That is a false situation, okay? And they had to work damn hard to get to that place.
Can you see the hands? Can you look at his face? Can you see the hand he's using? That's a politician hand. That's a lawyer, a politician, somebody who is trained in media. Watch the hand, watch. Tony Blair used to use it all the time. Keir Starmer uses it, watch.
And this made us feel some sort of discomfort.
Please give our little girl back.
Oh, it shows.
Por favor, devolva a nossa menina.
They were getting advice. If you're too tearful, you're going to have the emotional impact, but you're not going to get the message over. And yes, what comes out of their mouths sounds measured.
You would think that this would be some sort of expert, wouldn't you, in body language? No, it's his brother.
Controlled and, a nice tempo. They don't speak like that normally. That is a false situation.
Okay?
and they had to work damn hard to get to that place, because the number of tears that were shed before they went out there, because I saw that. I was backstage there.
What?
And it's in this atmosphere that a
Did you hear
former
what he just said? The amount of tears that was shed before they went out there. Now, I read a theory this morning that she was never even in Portugal, that she was killed back at home, and the whole Portugal was just all a cover for her being dead. He's just said, oh no, we've left Gizmo's nuggies outside again, the hedgehog's eating them. I've got something to tell at the end. Remind me to tell the hedgehog story at the end. Didn't he just say then that he was there backstage? That's what he just said. I was there backstage and there was tears. That is what he's just said.
Tempo. They don't speak like that normally. That is a false situation, okay? And they had to work damn hard to get to that place, because the number of tears that were shed before they went out there, because I saw that. I was
before they went out
there.
And it's in this atmosphere that a former PJ detective goes on Portuguese television and, without any corroboration, accuses the Mccanns of being swingers.
There are people who guarantee that this is a couple who practice swinging, i.e. sexual relationships between couples and then changing partners. And that this practice would allow, in this type of situation...
When you say there are people who say, I'm assuming you are quoting...
People who know, obviously. I cannot reveal the source here because I would lose it.
The Portuguese police publicly disowned the allegation, also denied by the Mccanns, but such stories are damaging. Then, within weeks, at a press conference in Germany, this question to the Mccanns.
How do you deal with the fact that more and more people seem to be pointing the finger at you, saying the way you behave is not the way people would normally behave if their child is abducted, and they seem to imply that you might have something to do with it?
To be honest, I don't actually think that is the case. I think that's a very small minority of people that are criticising us. You know, we are very responsible parents and we love our children so much, and I think it's only a very few people that are actually criticising us.
That question seemed extreme at the time, but there was more and more focus on Kate and Jerry Mccann.
You got the party there, Jane?
So this was filmed in the August before they took the car with the dogs. Remember, that's the car. Who agrees this is a brilliant piece of journalism? Absolutely blown away by this.
But one film crew was welcome. The resulting footage wasn't offered to Panorama, but the Mccanns agreed to release.
Listen to this. This is a bit I was telling you about. It's really weird. Yeah. This is where they tell us that they got their mate in to film them. And it wasn't initially offered to Panorama, but they let them have it.
It to us when word of its existence leaked out.
Only because it leaked.
How do you know the Mccanns?
I know them through my wife Michelle, who was Kate's longest friend. I mean, they met each other back in primary school and stayed lifelong mates.
John Corner is a film producer. He's also godfather to the Mccann twins. The Mccanns say because he's a friend, he's invited to make a film for the launch of a YouTube channel for missing children. And on August the 1st, he arrives on the Algarve.
Can you believe this shit? So he is a filmmaker and producer, and he's invited to go make a film on the 1st of August. No one ignores you. I can't read organic, honestly. Right, I am literally glancing at chat. It's like I've got to be really, really quick because obviously I'm doing this. I'm presenting and talking and stuff. So I miss a lot of chat, honestly. Everyone that's a moderator are just regulars who ends up. Regular people all end up blue anyway. So don't feel like you're not. There's some sort of better than you or anything like that. It's not that at all. So anyway, yes. So this guy here, this is such a bizarre. When I seen this bit, I was like, huh? So her longest friend at school, her husband just happens to be a producer, and they invited him to make a video filming them in a vlog. And the only reason why they've allowed panorama access is because it got leaked that he was doing it. Ah, they might not have seen you, God. You know, hi John, how you doing? But yeah, you're welcome. Are you new? Bunny, I'm beyond now. No, it's Joe. Honestly, it's just insane. Hi English Buttercup. It's madness. Still no tears. But this bit really blew my mind. Are you? Where did you find us, Organic? Just wondering. And are you interested in this case? Is that where you found us?
Very low key, very relaxed, and very quickly got used to us hanging around.
He films the Mccanns for a week.
Very low key, very relaxed. Listen, I'm going to just rewind that bit, okay?
Corner is a film producer. He's also godfather to the Mccann twins. The Mccanns say because he's a friend, he's invited to make a film for the launch of a YouTube channel for missing children. And on August the 1st, he arrives on the Algarve.
It's very low key, very relaxed, and very quickly got used to us hanging around.
He films the Mccanns for a week. The family have just moved to their new base, a villa on the outskirts of Luge.
You can see the twins are just playing, you know, and you can see it's a normal house. You've got toys and stuff on the floor. And what's quite poignant about it is that you see a father sitting on his own in his bedroom in a foreign country, desperately looking for his daughter, and seeing that.
To be honest with you, Organic, I just want to say, yeah, a YouTube channel on missing kids, Danny boy, when your daughter's apparently God knows where. Hello, Gina, darling. I think I said hello, but if I didn't, hello. Yeah, good to see you, Johnny, not pal. Organic, we're usually more relaxed and chatty, but because we're sort of really into this case, it's probably why we're not really noticing as much. So, a new hobby, lovely jubbly, well, new hobby did say. But yeah, we are normal, sort of, I think. Are we normal? And we are usually more interactive with each other, but obviously we're watching this and we're all like, I don't know about you guys, I don't think anyone has seen this before. We are all learning. Yeah, it's a difficult stream. It's difficult to have fun and everything else. It's difficult, and also I think we're all learning new things during this as well. No, you're good. You're okay, honestly.
Upset me.
Looking at these in isolation, I don't find too bad, but when you see videos or the pictures that I haven't seen, I've heard for a while, the common ones, I think I've become a bit desensitised to, but the ones that haven't been used as much are much more difficult to look at, and particularly video.
When John Corner arrives at the villa, Kate tells him about Jerry taking his sister and brother-in-law to the airport.
Jerry took them, yeah. He's a bit crumbly, I think. I think he was all right, and then he said, right, I'm going to go now, and then he lost it. And I got a text from Trish, and it said, nearly choked on my full English because of that.
I need to listen to this. I just need to go back. What's she talking about?
The family have just moved to their new base, a villa on the outskirts of Luge. But one film crew was welcome. The resulting footage wasn't offered to Panorama, but the Mccanns agreed to release it to us when word of its existence leaked out. How do you know the Mccanns?
I know them through my wife Michelle, who was Kate's longest friend. I mean, they met each other back in primary school and stayed lifelong mates.
John Corner is a film producer. He's also godfather to the Mccann twins. The Mccanns say because he's a friend, he's invited to make a film for the launch of a YouTube channel for missing children. And on August the 1st, he arrives on the Algarve.
It's very low key, very relaxed, and very quickly got used to us hanging around.
He films the Mccanns for a week. The family have just moved to their new base, a villa on the outskirts of Luge.
You can see the twins are just playing, you know, and you can see it's a normal house. You've got toys and stuff on the floor. And what's quite poignant about it is that you see a father sitting on his own in his bedroom in a foreign country, desperately looking for his daughter, and seeing that quite upset me.
Looking at these in isolation, I don't find too bad, but when you see videos or the pictures that I haven't seen, I've heard for a while, the common ones, I think I've become a bit desensitised to it, but the ones that haven't been used as much are much more difficult to look at, and particularly video.
When John Corner arrives at the villa, Kate tells him about Jerry taking his sister and brother-in-law to the airport.
Guys, I just want to say something, right? So I've just looked at wow. I've just looked at this guy, and it's his channel that I've pulled this from. I didn't know. So he has uploaded all of these clips, this guy. He's also on Facebook, and right. Someone's put a post here on the 24th of Feb 2022. John Corner, that's this guy, under the microscope. John Corner, McCann's friend and godfather to the twins, talking about Madeleine in Vanity Fair. Right? I need to see this for my own eyes. But someone has just put this up about this bloke. And they've showed him the bald head. He said, so beautiful, astonishingly bright, and I'd have to say very charismatic. She would shine out of a crowd. So God forgive me. Maybe that's part of the problem. That special quality. Something, I'm guessing bastard, picked up on that. Now, this is insane. There's a lot of stuff. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook. What people are talking about this guy apparently is a bit of a wrong un. So, and he was hanging around the Mccanns. Oh my God. Oh my God, folks. This is really, really interesting. I just searched his name. That's all I did. I just searched his name and was thinking, oh, let's see what this guy's up to now, sort of thing. Wow. Right. Okay. I think we need to keep an eye on him, but he's the one, his channel is uploading stuff. Somebody has also put here on the Madeleine.forummotion.net that is a forum that is still up. How creepy this guy is. I think we should do a whole piece on him next. What do you reckon?
Jerry took them, yeah. He's a bit crumbly, I think. I think he was all right, and then he said, right, I'm going to go now, and then he lost it. And I got a text from Trish, and it said, nearly choked on me full English because of that tiny tears husband of yours, you know. Oh. But yeah. No.
Is he big brother or little brother?
Little brother, yeah. Jerry's the youngest, yeah.
He's the youngest,
yeah.
Of course. Because the media see Jerry as this kind of emotionless warrior. He's not really, is he?
No, he's not. I mean, it's really harsh to say that because, I mean, you know, Jerry's always been a very focused person. He's enthusiastic, he's focused, and he's incredibly positive, which is great for me, to be honest. And he's obviously used to speaking in public, not dealing with media, but speaking in public. So he's able to go on and do that and throw himself into it, you know. And I think that's what people see. And you know, people say, "Oh, how can you do that? Or how can you stand there and do that when your daughter's been taken and everything?" And I mean, I've been like that before, you know, and there's been other cases of kids that have been taken or killed or whatever, and you think to yourself, how does anyone cope with that? How could you get through another day? And then you throw it back to yourself and think, how did I get up this morning? How did I get a shower? How did I get my breakfast? And something obviously gets you through it, apart from the first few days, which you have total sort of physical shutdown, but something gets you through it, do you know what I mean? And I think until you're in that situation, you just can't say. You know, he has his lows as well, you know, for sure. And in fact, probably Jerry's lowest points were often on a Saturday because we had like a family day.
Right, this is really interesting, folks. I do think we need to do more into this guy. I'm looking on here on this forum that's managed to survive the cull. And they've got a whole thread on him. And the thread is called the creepy John Corner. And someone's put here, I seen him. This was this year, actually. I saw him several months ago in Liverpool at a shopping centre. He is creepy looking in real life as well. He frightened the life out of me. And someone's put here, why would you, they're talking about this panorama, what we're watching right now. Now, why would this good friend of the family and godfather to the twins choose to release to panorama these rather eye-opening scenes in light of yesterday's revelations of discussions with a proper film production outfit, whatever that is, the ones who made Touching the Void? Isn't that the Netflix one? I'm not sure. Maybe he is a little miffed if they burned his company in search of a better offer. What they're saying here, I don't quite know what that means. But they're saying here, why would he, the friend and filmmaker who rather strangely videoed the parents in June, some footage was shown on the unflattering BBC panorama. He is now officially on the fund's board of directors, following the resignation, listen to this, of Kate's old school friend, Esther McVey. She was a Tory MP. She was reeled out as well. Esther McVey, who appears on GB News, if you don't know who she is, she was a Tory MP until she lost a seat at the last election. She went to school with Kate McCann, and she was heavily involved in this fund that's had over 20 million people. Says here, John Corner's contribution included the most bizarre footage of Kate shown to date, and the odd shot, what you've just seen now, of Jerry hunched over his PC with the voiceover explaining that he was searching for Madeleine. We've just watched that, where he was hunched over the PC on the internet with pictures of her searching for Madeleine. How can you search for your daughter on the internet? So people are still talking about this panorama today. This is a really interesting piece of video that I've managed to uncover. I'm really glad that I found this.
Say, right, we'll try and put the work on hold as much as you can, and we'll do something with the twins. And you often find that the hardest, because we were having family time without Madeleine. It just didn't seem right.
Family time, just in family time, without Madeleine.
Because you're their friend, people might treat these pictures with some scepticism. What difference do you think it made that you were their friend? Were you, for example, guiding them off camera?
Not at all. I was never guiding them off camera, and it's not that kind of relationship with Kate and Jerry. I just let the cameras run, and we burnt a lot of tape. Just let the cameras run.
Why are you making a video in the June, a month after she's missing? They're talking in the August, but they was filming them from the June. A month later, your daughter's been kidnapped and is God knows where. Let's get in my school friend's husband to film us. What? This is so weird.
There'll be plenty of people who won't buy that. This was their friend filming what they wanted seen. But their supporters would say they weren't then suspects. And if they were hiding an extraordinary secret, is it likely the couple would invite a camera team, however friendly, into their lives?
See you later.
I said to them that I think there's a possibility that Madeleine may not be the story eventually, that you may be the story.
What did they say?
They were quite distressed by that, really.
It had not occurred to them before.
Well, it's difficult for me as a friend to be negative and to impart some sense of negativity.
He was right to censor change. On the day filming was due to start, the police arrive at the McCann villa. As these pictures show, they would return.
They took most of their clothing. They were taking even the wet clothes out of the washing machine. I was aware that the cuddle cat was boxed up, and we were asked to leave the villa.
The crew,
everybody.
So they searched the whole villa?
Yes.
So what, as all this is going on, what do Kate and Jerry make of this?
You're hearing this, folks. The police go in there while they're doing it. It's madness. I just want to stop it there a sec. Listen to this, yeah. So I've just gone having a nose about this John Corner who's talking there, the bold guy, and someone's put a post up on Reddit, they've actually deleted the person who was doing this because Reddit have been quite badly muted as well on it. It's all pro McCann stuff now, but someone made this post and they said changes to the original story to the Windows story, altering the initial version of events, especially in a case involving a report of a missing child, is a classic red flag. And it says here, in the first 24 hours following the report of Madeleine's disappearance, several family members and close friends relayed almost identical stories to the press in the first 24 hours. These accounts, while hearsay regarding the state of the shutters, provide direct evidence of what the McCanns communicated to them. The distinction is crucial, and they've got each person who said they had a phone call by the McCanns in the night. And guess who's one of these people? Him, John Corner, a close friend of Kate McCann and godparent to the twins, said that she phoned him in the middle of the night, distraught. This guy here, this John, he said she just blurted out that Madeleine had been abducted. Kate said the shutters of the room were smashed. Madeleine was missing. It looks as though someone had gone straight past the twins to get her. And then the first person who got the call was the sister. She said she got a call from her brother and said he was hysterical and crying his eyes out. She said that he said they last checked at 9:30 and they were all sound asleep. Windows shut, shutters shut. Kate went back at 10 and the front door was open. The window had been tampered with and the shutters had been jammed open. But on another one, it says that the shutters were smashed up. They're all in on it, in my opinion. There's so many inconsistencies. And why is this creepy Uncle Fester looking guy filming them and making some really weird vlog? And they just happened to give some to Panorama. But they weren't going to, but they asked for them because it got leaked.
Well, this is the
I
bizarre
just
thing,
need to
Richard,
listen to
because
this bit again because I was
Madeleine may not
reading,
be
you see.
camera, and it's not that kind of relationship with Kate and Jerry. I just let the cameras run, and we burnt a lot of tape. Just let the cameras run.
There'll be plenty of people who won't buy that. This was their friend filming what they wanted seen.
Yeah.
But their supporters would say they weren't then suspects. And if they were hiding an extraordinary secret, is it likely the couple would invite a camera team, however friendly, into their lives?
See you later.
I said to them that I think there's a possibility that Madeleine may not be the story eventually, that you may be the story.
What did they say?
They were quite distressed by that, really.
It had not occurred to them before.
Well, it's difficult for me as a friend to be negative and to impart some sense of negativity.
He was right to censor change. On the day filming was due to start, the police arrive at the Mccann villa. As these pictures show, they would return.
They took most of their clothing. They were taking even the wet clothes out of the washing machine. I was aware that the cuddle cat was boxed up, and we were asked to leave the villa.
The crew?
Everybody.
So they searched the whole villa?
Yes.
So what, as all this is going on, what do Kate and Jerry make of this?
Well, this is the bizarre thing, Richard, because the police said to Kate and Jerry, yeah, we're going to be coming along, we want to do some forensics. And Kate and Jerry
This bit is really weird now. So they're saying they were making this video and the police come in. This is before they were at Aguado. Right? Listen.
The police said to Kate and Jerry, yeah, we're going to be coming along. We want to do some forensics. And Kate and Jerry were massively optimistic about this.
Can you see how much of an actor he is? Can you see how he's taking the right gulps? He's trained in acting, you can tell. There's nothing natural about this guy. There's nothing natural about any of them. They're all acting. He's acting, just the way he's speaking and everything. It's not natural. It's ever so weird. They're all involved in film and television as well. You're right. Well, I'm just asking Al to make me a drink if he doesn't mind, but I know he's busy with washing.
If your daughter's missing and the police phone you and say, we want to do some forensics, that's a straw that you hang on to. That's a moment for optimism.
Optimism. They're coming to do forensics and take away the McCann stuff. But it's a moment for optimism. That doesn't make any sense. It just what is coming out of his mouth and what is supposedly happening, it doesn't make any sense.
That's because the Mccanns say this was a time when they were pushing for more urgency in the investigation. The Portuguese had rejected their request for the FBI to come in, but they did bring in a British forensic team with...
So they're saying here that the Mccanns asked the FBI to come in. Or was that the Portuguese... Hang on, let me just listen to that bit again about the FBI. Thank you, babe. Thank you.
The police said to Kate and Jerry, yeah, we're going to be coming along. We want to do some forensics. And Kate and Jerry were massively optimistic about this. And you've got to remember, if your daughter's missing and the police phone you and say, we want to do some forensics, that's a straw that you hang on to. That's a moment for optimism.
That's because the Mccanns say this was a time when they were pushing for more urgency in the investigation. The Portuguese had rejected their request for the FBI to come in, but they did bring in a British forensic team with sniffer dogs. Kate McCann talks to John Corner as all this is going on.
We're just doing absolutely everything we can do, to help find Madeleine. And the last thing we want is to look back and think we could have done more.
But they're taking clothing away, they're taking the diary away, they're taking Cuddle Cat away. Well, they're not thinking things have changed here.
She washed the Cuddle Cat.
I was thinking, this seems really all a bit late in the day to me.
Let me take you back to what it was like then. I was here in Praia da Luz for BBC News. Like the rest of the media, I was reporting on the 100 days since Madeleine Mccann had disappeared. But things were changing. Forensic teams had found what were thought to be specks of blood in the McCann apartment. Those sniffer dogs had reportedly reacted to the scent of death in the McCann hire car and on Kate McCann's clothing. People were starting to think what had previously seemed unthinkable.
They don't talk about that anymore, do they? Have you noticed? Now, we watch the dogs and we watch them go to Kate's clothing. But all we ever hear about now is in apartment 5A and the hire car. It was actually on her clothing as well.
Thinkable. And faced with all of this, the McCanns agreed to talk to me.
Because Clarence Mitchell told them to.
Is now shifting from a possible abduction to
August
an investigation that might involve a death or murder. Were you aware of those sorts of shifts?
Well, not naive, but on numerous...
They wanted the FBI because they knew that they wouldn't want them there. It was just, they just knew they'd say no. So they could pretend that, oh yeah, we wanted them there. Well, you knew they're not going... Why would the FBI come out to Portugal and help a British couple? They knew they were going to say no, but it didn't look good, like, oh, we wanted the FBI, but they wouldn't let us have them.
Occasions, the Portuguese police have assured us that they were looking for Madeleine alive and not, Madeleine being murdered. And I don't know of any information that's changed that. Kate and I strongly believe that Madeleine was alive when she was taken from the apartment. Obviously, what we don't know is what happened to her afterwards.
The massive gulp, because you're lying, and you know that you're lying. Watch the gulp.
And I don't know of any information that's changed that. Kate and I strongly believe that Madeleine was alive when she was taken from the apartment. Obviously, what we don't know is what happened to her afterwards, who's taken her and what her motive is. And we're desperate to find that out.
And as Jerry's just said there, even last week when we met with the police, they said we are looking for a living child. And they've said that a lot, so.
Yeah.
What I know now, but didn't know then, is that that was precisely the time when the Mccanns first experienced a more aggressive attitude from Portuguese police. At an informal briefing, 2 detectives turned on Kate McCann. She was on her own. Jerry McCann wasn't with her, but her version of events was open.
She's never on her own, is she, without him? That was their time. Just, did you bring their nuggets in? Because I can hear.
No.
I can hear. Can you have a look? We've got a little hoglet, guys. Yeah.
I've seen it on the camera.
Is he there now?
I don't know.
Have a look. Have a look. We've got all these hedgehogs. We've got a little hoglet that keeps pinching Gizmo and George's nuggets. They're dog nuggets. They're made with fresh turkey. They're ever so posh. Can you see?
I can't see. I'd have to look on the camera.
You'd have to put the lights on, just low. And yesterday I was like, oh, we've left there, because we put the nuggets out in the day so they can graze if the dogs want to eat. And we looked over last night. I said, oh, you've left their nugget bowl out. Look down. And there's this little hoglet, no bigger than my hand, and I've got little hands. Crunchy, crunchy, crunch. Munching away. His little face, he's tipped the bowl. It's only like a really light steel bowl. And all I can hear while I'm talking to you is outside the window. You know, we've got hedgehog bowls all over the garden, but that's the only one that will be by the window. Little sod is eating your nuggets again, Gizmo. It's too cute, though. It's too cute to tell off. I got a nice story for you at the end of this as well about hedgehogs.
Openly questioned.
Hi, out of Passionate Zone. Hi, Rach.
And that was the start of a very difficult period. And you know, really.
This one is dodgy. This is the former director of communications. In the first few days, she was there because Clarence Mitchell was sort of in the background. She was the one that was brought in by the government and all that to stand and basically really push the abduction narrative, but she's not there in that role anymore. So she's the former one. I think we'll finish this tonight. We'll just keep going till it finishes. And then we'll end it, and then we'll pick it up next week. Hi, Dave. How you doing, mate?
At an informal briefing, 2 detectives turned on Kate McCann. She was on her own. Jerry McCann wasn't with her, but her version of events was openly questioned.
I do know afterwards she was incredibly upset, and that was the start of a very difficult period. And I, you know, really felt for them actually, because they went through a very tough time.
And by now, the forensic work is shaping the case. The police doubts are more serious. On Thursday, the 6th of September, Kate McCann is dropped off in Portimao. She's been called in for questioning. Her sister-in-law, Trish, goes to support her. Justine McGuinness, the McCann publicity manager at the time, is also there.
I have to say, I was incredibly impressed, because she just, you know, held her head high and walked into the police station and just, you know, kept on going. And
wow,
you know, a lot of people.
They've changed her. She now sounds like the bloody Queen. If we remember back, we were watching the earlier clips of her when this child had allegedly just gone missing. She didn't talk nothing like that. Now she talks like this, like the Queen, and I'm incredibly proud of how she held her head up high. Shut the front door.
Wouldn't have been able to have coped going through a medium mob.
As Kate McCann sits down in the interview room, she recognises one of the detectives.
They'd had a meal with this guy, with his family, and the children had played together. And she talked to me about this particular police officer as if he was a friend. And she felt quite comforted by having this guy who spoke English as well. And he was in the interview, and he didn't make eye contact with Kate at all.
Kate McCann is at the station for 13 hours, but from inside, she and Trish text out updates. Even at this point, the message is being controlled.
What?
We were a bit naughty because we did have messages coming out
Wow.
of the police station.
I didn't hear this when I watched this the other day. Wow. They were actually messaging. Wow. Wow. I can talk very, very posh if I want to. There you go. I could do a radio show. Anyway, there's the membership, guys. If you want to join it, you can. It's totally up to you. If you want to help us, it really does help. Helps with research. It helps with the streaming software. Helps with equipment. It really helps. So if you want to join and help the channel, you can. It's $2.99. There's the link. But all our content's free. There's some additional content, but it's usually like things that I've done. I've done quite a lot of streams in the past that a lot of them are on membership only, but the current McCann stuff is free for everybody. This is getting really weird now, right? I just need to listen back to that bit. Hold on. They were texting. She was texting messages out from the police allowed Kate to message God knows who while she was being supposedly questioned. And when they interviewed the 7:30 directly after, they never even kept them in separate rooms. Yeah, there she is, look. There she is, doing a thing straight after.
13 hours. But from inside, she and Trish text out updates.
I'm
Even
Penny.
at this point,
Hello.
the message is being controlled.
We were a bit naughty because we did have messages coming out of the police station, which we weren't supposed to.
What, the text messages?
Yeah.
And what the text saying? Talk us through.
So, you know, sort of updates on things that were happening.
I'd like to read a statement on Kate's arrival at the police station.
Knowing, you know, everybody had copy to write, had the 10 o'clock news like you did, or whatever, the various different deadlines that they had. I felt that it was important just to manage people's expectations.
She finally gets out at 1 o'clock in the morning. Her lawyer tells family and friends what has been put to her by the police.
Kate foi ouvida como testemunha. As diligências de investigação, obviamente, vão continuar a decorrer. E, como bem sabem, o segredo de justiça impõe-no que nada mais digamos.
I mean, there was an allegation put to Kate that she'd been involved in harming her daughter. You know, a dreadful allegation to be put to any mother.
At 3 in the morning, after Kate McCann has returned to her villa, her lawyer arrives with what seems to be a deal: plead guilty to manslaughter and escape with only 2 years in jail. As he explains the offer, Philomena McCann is on the phone to her sister Trish.
Trisha hangs out with a mobile, and there I am listening to Kate.
Now, apparently, this was debunked later. So she came out and said that she got these little secret text messages from the police station that they had offered Kate 2 years in jail for a confession of accidental death, right? Now, she was allegedly, all right, Georgie, she was allegedly texting this bird here and some others these things. But apparently, after she was in trouble, this one here, baby reindeer lookalike, was in trouble because Clarence Mitchell didn't want her to blurt this out, and she kept on blurting things out that had been said behind the scenes. Now, the McCanns have since come out and denied that the police ever offered her that deal. So nobody knows whether they did offer it her, because they've denied it as well, the police have, whether they offered it her and they didn't want anyone else to know and Kate went and blabbed, or whether baby reindeer, Scottish, was she Scottish as well? Yes, she was. She's just making it up for shits and giggles, and I don't know. But why would the police deny that they ever offered her that deal? And I don't think it was an accidental death. I'm sorry. I just don't. I feel like that David Payne and the dad and maybe that Oldfield guy, that Matthew, there's something off. And that Bold guy, that John Corner, we need to have a good look through that. Breaking news, just a quick news flash, guys, because we are live. Macron has now declared moments ago that he wants the UK to rejoin the EU. Just saying, he's over here and he wants the UK back in. Just FYI. So Starmer will just U-turn on the whole thing. Anyway, back to this, but I just thought I'd let you know because it's breaking news right now. So I don't know. I just find that really bizarre, and I just don't think that it was accidental. I think the reason why the blood and the corpse was at by the window on the back by the sofa is because Madeleine was trying to get away from these men. That's what I think. It's really, really horrific, but that's what I think. I just, if they were swingers, God knows what they were getting up to, and if those twins went through anything like that, they will be traumatized and they will have memories. They will come back one day. It's so sad. The whole thing is just sad. And it when I was doing my first few, like I said to you last night, I got quite distressed by covering this because I had no idea how deep this went until I started really going into it. And it is pretty distressing. So like I say, the next stream will not be related to it. If you're new to the channel, like Organic was, and there's some others, I do other content. This is my deep dive channel. I cover all sorts, anything that's weird, bizarre, doesn't make any sense, intrigues me. It could be paranormal. It could be. I used to cover like the jibby jabs and all that, but I kept getting taken off, so I can't talk about that anymore. So I sort of skirt around that. And then I've also got a channel where I used to do politics, but now it's just all animal stuff because I'm obsessed with animals. So I do lighter stuff. It kind of keeps me balanced. I do lighter stuff on my animals channel, animals and outdoor channel. I do have a politics channel, but it's only little, but I do have one for little bits here and there. Anyway, moving on. So we do want to try and keep like little light bits because otherwise we'll all end up like manic depressives at this sort of content about children, and it is horrible. But I think this woman's lying. I don't know about you. Oh, George is at the door now. How long have we been going? I've been going for an hour and 47 minutes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get in trouble for that as well all the time. And I've got a little pup here, and he's going mad at me, and he wants me to take him for a walk. George, if you can just let Mummy just finish this, okay? Let Mummy just finish this. Can't stand him. He's a two-faced English buttercup. You know, when all that was going on, Dr. John Campbell was pushing the prick. He is a mouthpiece. He is a shill. He was pushing it and telling people to get it. I remember him. And then when it got cool, he started talking out against it. He's a fraud.
Screaming at the lawyer, no, no. And just the emotion and the disgust, her tone, everything that was being conveyed. I mean, what she was saying, the anger, you could feel it.
This was a turning point.
Prove it. Prove that happened, that she was really contacting you and that the police offered that. Why haven't the police admitted that they offered that then? And the thing is, the police did offer that. She shouldn't be telling anyone. I know, Georgie. Do you want to poo-poo? Do you want to walkies? Do you want to walkies? Can you wait for 10 minutes? Well, 15 minutes. I don't think he can hold it. I think he's got turtle head, guys. Hang on. Do you need a poo-poo? All right. I'm going to try and play a tiny bit more.
A dramatic 48 hours. First, they're named as official suspects.
Kate and Jerry McCann, they have both been today declared with no bail conditions.
Then they decide the time has come to leave Pride de Luge, to go home without Madeleine. Few are putting up yellow ribbons now. It's a case that divides people. Those who think that somehow the Mccanns are involved,
Why's the
and
audio
those who
gone
don't,
funny?
including a small...
Has the audio gone funny? Oh no, George is attacking the laptop. Guys, we're going to have to finish this off tomorrow. I'm really sorry. He needs a poop. Right. What time is it now? 11:30. Yeah, he's desperate for his poop. I thought I'd leave him a bit later because it's been so warm and he likes a nighttime stroll. Guys, I can nip on tomorrow and just do a really short stream and just watch the... Honestly, it's fine, organic. I live in a really, touch wood, a really nice little area. So, honestly, I'm okay, but thank you. My hubby walks the other one, the other dog. But I'm okay, honestly. I only go around the block, and I live in like a nice little town or whatever. And I've got a crutch that I walk on because I've got a really bad back and arthritis in my knee. So anyone comes near me, I'll just smack them around the head with that. So, but nobody has so far, guys. I've really, really, really got to go. I will. Yeah, there's a lot of sarcasm, organic. There's a lot of jokes. You've got to be a little bit balmy to get on in here, but yeah, we are just a normal bunch of people who there's left, right, everything in between, but we all look for the truth. We don't always agree, but that's okay. Yeah, Bev, I remember, and you said you'd wish you'd found us earlier. Guys, do you not think this is really, really good? We've got 15 minutes left. We'll do it tomorrow. I'll go earlier because it'll be a shorter stream. So 15 minutes of that with me pausing it will probably be about half an hour. So will you come back tomorrow, folks? Please come back. Let me get this done. And then we will carry this off. Please hit the like, guys. Again, thank you to Susabel for joining the membership. I will. Thank you very much. If I was back in Birmingham, where I'm from originally, I would not be walking my doggy right now. Right. Thank you. Yes. And welcome to the newbies. I will see you all tomorrow. Guys, I'm going to try and go earlier. I might try and go about... Hang on. I'm out. Hang on a minute. Jack's at a new karate tomorrow. Not karate, kickboxing at a new class. I'll get home about 6. I'm going to try and go about 8. So just keep a lookout for your notifications. Hi, Herman. I really, really want to finish this. It's really, really interesting. And there's a couple of other little videos I want to show you. And then we'll leave this for this week and we'll carry it on next week. And I want to have a look at that John Corder because he's screaming Rungan and hard drives to me, and Jerry's brother as well. What a weirdo. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, it will just be a short one because I promised no more McCann stuff this week, but we do need to finish this off. Right, I'll see you tomorrow, and a good night. God bless, and don't have nightmares, guys. It's not worth it. Oh yeah, just really quickly. Last night, just really quickly, I did promise you I'd tell you. Fed the hedgehogs. Yeah, we've got lots of hedgehogs, lots of wild hedgehogs. And Al took the dogs in and I sat outside and I put some food down, right? And the one, we call him Homer because he comes out the hedge and then sometimes goes back in again like Homer Simpson. We call him Homer. He lives in our hedge. He come out and even though Gizmo had still not gone in at that point, he just sat there. So Al took the dogs in. I went and sat down by him and he didn't move. He just sat there. So it was quite a young one, very nice, clean looking. A couple of them look a bit scraggy now. And I threw some, he was eating some bird food. He hadn't got to the food yet. And I passed him a couple of kalki worms, which is their favourite treat. And he ate them from in front of me. So I got my hand a bit closer and a bit closer. And I swear to God, I've got a video of me sat with them because a baby came as well then. I videoed that bit. I'll upload it on the other channel. But guess what? I held out a kalki worm and Homer took it from my hand. It was the most amazing experience in the world. A hedgehog, a wild hedgehog, took this dried worm. It's like a real worm, but it's called a kalki worm, from my hand. So I gave him another one and another one. And his wiggly nose was wet. Then I got like little wet noses, and his wiggly nose was wiggling on my finger. And it was the most amazing feeling ever. So that is one off my bucket list. I'm coming, George, to feed a hedgehog by hand. So they're all out there now, and I've got to get past them with George. But that's amazing. It was just amazing. So tomorrow night, I do want to be there for when they turn up about 10. I couldn't tonight because I was streaming. What an idiot. Someone's just drove past like an idiot. I don't know who that is. So yeah, so I do want to be there for, they come about 10. Tonight I was live when they came. I've missed it. Yeah, it happened. And I will upload the video of me sat next to them just before the hand feeding. Right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. I wanted to get that in. George has got turtle head. He needs to poop. Right, see you soon. Well, see you tomorrow. Bye.